Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpole and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah. Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 98 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim Dottie Baseball. I had a sneeze.
Good one.
It took 98 episodes before I botched the intro. We did it. Tim
Good
Dottie
one.
Baseball, man. Stratton. Those are the vibes tonight, everyone.
Yeah.
With Rodney Newpole. I
Nice
felt
work.
the sneeze coming on. I was like, surely it'll pass, and it did not. Rodney, happy Wednesday, man. We're here.
It's a little bit odd to be on here on a Wednesday. Safe travels back. I'm glad you made it back, and here you are in the back of the Midwest, and the temperature and the degrees outside are the same as when you left. Nothing has changed. Not one single thing. No.
That's perfect. No, it's been great weather. Yeah, I've had no complaints about being back home in the Midwest and seeing my dog walking around, and it's been good. Like, the weather in California was nice. It wasn't blazing hot either, so I've had a nice run here of good temperatures, and we're gonna just try to keep it going as long as we can. I might have another sneeze coming on here, so just a warning.
Well,
I don't know where it started. I haven't sneezed all day. Then suddenly we're doing a show tonight, and then I don't know what's coming over me here. I'm fine. I'm not sick. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's because we're all thrown off. It's a Wednesday show. I think my body's coming down because I've been just incredibly tense for about 48 consecutive hours. And I think that I'm finally having a moment to breathe, and my body's failing me right now. But anyway, I'm good. I'm good, man.
Rest, relaxation, hydration before tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's game 3, the final, the deciding factor between your Yankees and the Red Sox should be an interesting one. And what the Yankees, the winner gets Toronto.
Yep. Yeah, it is bracket style, so there's no reseeding. So it will be an AL East showdown regardless. With game 1 in Toronto on Saturday, whether it's the Yankees or the Red Sox. That'll be fun. That'll be fun, man. And then you got Cleveland and Detroit. Winner of that will automatically head to Seattle for a series that there will be some people that watch it. There will be some.
Yeah.
I'm told there will be people watching that series.
Yeah, Detroit Cleveland's been kind of a gross series, and I don't really like watching either team play. Playoff baseball on at noon, so I have it on. I don't love those teams at all. And I think tomorrow, I'll just come out and say it. I think the Tigers are strongly considering Skubal pitching on 1-day rest because they know it's literally their only chance.
I don't hate that idea. So okay. I'm gonna tell you guys a story here. So once upon a time in the year 2014, the San Francisco Giants were in the World Series, and Madison Bumgarner had just started for the Giants, and I want to say he did pitch Game 6 for them. And then lo and behold, Game 7 happens, and then Madison Bumgarner, that very same pitcher, comes through out of the bullpen and gives them multiple great innings, and they win a World Series. If he can do it, I think Tarek Skubal can do it as well.
No.
And this is kind of the point where you have to just say you will, like, it's either this or you'll feel very rested in March 27th for opening day or whatever the hell it is. Like, that's really what it comes down to. And like, if I'm the Red Sox, I'm having the same conversation about Crochet for a couple innings. If I'm, take your pick with any of these teams that have a stud pitcher and are facing an elimination game. I think all bets are off for what you can do.
I mean, for the Tigers, it's between that and a struggling Jack Flaherty. I mean, you definitely Skubal's got to be your option there, and I know they're not going to because too much money invested in that left arm of Skubal. But my goodness, that's why it's invested in him to win you games like this. Yeah. So I will take unless Scooble it can or does pitch, and we're wildly just making this up on the fly. There's no talk of him actually pitching tomorrow. But unless he does pitch, I'll take Cleveland at home in that first game.
Yeah. So tomorrow, so first of all, can we just say through 2 days, baseball playoffs have been pretty good.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, this wild card series, I was just telling you this before the show. This wild card series that Major League Baseball officially started in 2022 with the best of 3 series. There have been 12 wild card series for the last 3 years. Of those 12, 10 of them ended in 2 games.
Yeah.
That means we've only seen 2 game threes. 2 game threes, period.
Yeah.
For this year. And tomorrow we will have 3 game threes. And somehow, I know by the time you hear the recording and stuff, it might be a different story. But as of right now, it's the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Reds have a 2-1 lead on the Dodgers. If somehow the Reds are able to miraculously win that game in Los Angeles, that will mean 4 elimination games tomorrow, which would be maximum cool. Maximum cool. No. And all bets are off for what would happen there. In addition to only 2 game threes, neither of the game 3 winners that we've seen were the team that staved off elimination in game 2. So basically, this wild card series is if you won game 1, you won the series.
Yeah.
And we're going to put that to the test tomorrow to see if that's going to be the case. The odds say yes, but just based on how many game 3s we have, we probably will have a couple comeback teams.
Yeah. I'm going to take Cleveland in game 1. Game 2, can I rail a little bit on Craig Counsell?
Yeah, that series has had some very interesting managerial choices, and I say your Counsell thing, and then I'm gonna give you my Mike Schilt thoughts on the other side of that.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It wouldn't matter today who the Cubs threw because they didn't simply score a run. But how in the world can you have had the playoff spot clinched for 2 weeks, and you have a game 2, and you can't name a starting pitcher? You don't have a starting pitcher for game 2 of your playoff series? I'm just dumbfounded. Like the days of like 4-man guy, 4 guys in a rotation, 5 guys in a rotation, you're battling for who gets those 3 starts, obviously are over. Like, but it just really just goes to show how poor the Cubs starting rotation really is. And I know Matthew Boyd fought really hard in game 1, and he's a good story because he's in Chicago somewhat. His grandpa grew up in Chicago. But anyway, it's like you can't tell me the Cubs didn't have a number 2 starter that they could have used today. I just am dumbfounded. A bullpen game in game 2. I'm blown away by that.
Yeah. Real quick, since I said if the Reds can hold the lead, in the 20 seconds since I said that, they're losing 3-2. See you, Reds. No, so my thing with Counsell too is, so it was very clear that the plan was going to be opener and then go to Shota Imanaga. And Imanaga came in for the 2nd inning and pitched 4 innings from there. Wasn't particularly sharp, but like that was the plan. So I guess the plan was always to have an opener. What confused me with what Counsell did is that opener being Andrew Kittredge, who Kittredge pitched yesterday in the 8th inning. 2 of the batters that he faced were Fernando Tatis and Luis Arias, who happen to be the top 2 hitters in San Diego's lineup. So Counsell says, hey, you know what we're going to do? These guys have already seen Kittredge, but that's okay. We're going to put him out there again in the 1st inning. And the game starts, guess how? Tatis, base hit. Arias, base hit. Because they saw Kittredge yesterday. And that's 2 runners on. You get a double steal, and they get a run out of it, which ended up being, since, by the way, as you geniusly mentioned, the Cubs scored 0 runs. That was the game-winning run in the first inning.
Yeah.
Just like that. Just like that. So, like, that was the part that was bizarre to me, that of all the openers to name, it was the guy that faced your top of the order a day before.
Yeah.
They knew who they just saw. They knew what was coming. They got 2 hits off of him. Just like that. Incredibly dumb. Incredibly dumb.
So I'll let you get to Mike Schilt here in a minute because I know you have some thoughts on him. I'm taking San Diego in game 2 tomorrow. I'm just not a believer in Jameson Taillon in that situation. Yes, Yu Darvish has the potential of getting lit up in Chicago. He's going back to Chicago. He played there a while. But I'm going to take Yu Darvish and the Padres. You can get the Cubs at -120, which means the Padres are the underdog here. I'm definitely taking San Diego in game 2 at even money.
Yeah. Yu Darvish revenge game is interesting. I feel like Yu Darvish in the postseason is either brilliant or totally awful. But like the Cubs offense right now hasn't been super inspiring. Yeah, so my Mike Schilt thoughts real quick. And so it's 2 days. Yesterday, I felt that he put out a lineup that was very, very lefty heavy. And the Cubs had a bullpen game, and yet there was no sense of Schilt utilizing his bench that had a ton of righties on it. He had 5 righties on the bench that he could bring in, exploit the matchup a little bit as Boyd starts the game, and then Drew Pomeranz comes in, but yet there was no change at all. Mike Schilt did not use his bench one time on Tuesday, and the Padres only got 1 run out of it. Today, Dylan Cease, arguably your best pitcher on your staff, was very sharp. 5 Ks, 3 2/3 innings, and a total of 69 pitches, and gets pulled. Like, that to me is just getting too cute. And, we could sit here and say, well, it worked. And of course it worked. Like, Morejon came in, and then Mason Miller is amazing, and Robert Suarez was great. So it worked there, but it just felt like burning unnecessary relievers when you could potentially use them, because all those guys went more innings than they normally do for you.
Yeah.
As a result of that. So now you have tired arms going into an elimination game. We could use them. It felt like I'm smarter than everybody else. And then, he takes Gavin Sheets out after 1 at bat. So after not using the bench on Tuesday, he comes in today. He gives Gavin Sheets 1 at bat, and then he throws in Jose Iglesias and Johnson, Bryce Johnson, who combined to go 0 for 3. So, like, yeah. I don't know what he's trying to do and how he's managing this game, this series, I should say. So I think both teams, I've looked at how Counsell and Schilt have been managing the series, and I've been very confused by a lot of their decision making.
Yeah. So game 3 then will be your Yankees against the Red Sox. Yankees came away with a win. How about the epic fail of game 1 by the Yankees to not score the very first time in Major League Baseball postseason history to have bases loaded, bottom of the 9th, and not score a run. But that's in the past. Game 3 is tomorrow. Past. You were kind of superstitiously talking up this Connolly Early cat.
I still am. Connolly Early might be the best pitcher in baseball history. I think if the Yankees are able to put the ball and play, just to get the ball in play against Connolly Early, who through 4 starts might be Cy Young reincarnated, I think it would be a miracle. So I'm just happy to get here at this point.
He's thrown 19 innings in his career. And
29 Ks, man. 29 Ks. 29 Ks. 2 very, very, very tough starts against a loaded Athletics lineup. Scrappy Rays team. And then what was the last one? Was it Seattle? Seattle's a playoff team, man. Everyone's loving Seattle to go to the World Series this year.
They got the dumper.
The big dumper. Yeah, you cannot tell me that early 4 starts haven't been impressive in that regard.
It wasn't Seattle. It was Athletics, Tampa Bay, and a playoff team The Detroit Tigers.
That's right. It was the Tigers. Yeah,
Who
and
can't
obviously,
who can't hit their way out of a wet paper bag?
I mean, the Yankees haven't been hitting the ball that great the last 2 games either, man. I'm just saying. But all right, in all seriousness, yeah. Last night was horrifying in many ways. Yeah, no, it listen, it wasn't good. I know a lot of people were criticizing Boone, myself included, when he took Fried out, sort of how he put the lineup together. He put Jazz in for Rosario after Rosario's at bat. So then, you have Chapman coming in the 9th, and instead of Rosario's right. There's a whole lot of things, but at the end of the day, like, players got to execute. And you have 3 very good hitters who come up with the bases loaded and no outs, and none of them can even get a run out of it. Like, that's on them. Like, there's no one else to blame. But what is interesting is you have all those bad vibes from yesterday, and now you look at today, where Jared Duran dropped, and I know that for some reason they gave Aaron Judge a hit on it. That was an error. That was a drop ball. That's a drop ball that Duran makes 999 times out of 1,000 opportunities he catches that ball. Like, that's an error. That's an error. That would have ended the inning, and the Yankees didn't get a run. So, like, you have a combination of that. You have who is it, Eaton, who on the play that Jazz made, which was incredible to keep it from definitely being an RBI hit. There's 2 outs, and Eaton should just be hauling ass, and he probably scores if he doesn't stop and hesitate at third base when Rice sort of bobbles the ball a little bit here. So, like, the Red Sox were the ones that made those flubs today and gave it right back. Meanwhile, you have Alex Cora, who's burning a lot of guys in the bullpen. He said that for the most part, guys will be available tomorrow. We'll see. But, like, Whitlock threw 50 pitches. I doubt he's going to be available for them. We'll see how they manage it, because Connolly early, as impressive as he's been, the most he's gone, I think, is 5 innings. So he's not going to be 7 innings for them. Yeah. So and based on how Cora has done the series, like, he is going to play the matchups, because the Yankees lineup is so, like, split heavy, and it's going to make a huge difference. So I'm very interested to see how he manages it tomorrow.
Will Jazz be in the lineup tomorrow?
Yes, Jazz, confirmed by Boone. Jazz will be in the lineup. The only thing that he's not sure on, not committing to, is the catcher first base combo. If I had to guess, well, actually, I'm not going to guess yet, because I want to go back and look to see who has primarily caught Schlittler for his starts here. But I mean, Ben Rice had a couple hits, including the 2-run home run in the first. Wells had the game-winning hit in the 8th. So it's probably just gonna. I think Goldie gets to start at first, and then you have to figure out what to do at catcher. I mean, at that point, they're both lefties. Maybe you just go Rice if he's comfortable enough catching Schlittler from there. But yeah, it's a tough decision. It's one that Boone's used to. I mean, they have to juggle it pretty much every game.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the Yankees in Game 3, so I'm taking the Guards, the Pods, and the Yankees in those first 3 games. Dodgers up 3-2, top 5, 2 outs in the 5th. I'm going to take the Dodgers tonight and consider that series over.
So you're taking all 3 teams that staved off elimination.
Yes.
Tonight.
Yeah, I guess that's true, huh?
I guess
History.
So. History. I mean, it could. Hey, man, stuff. History's supposed to be broken, right? Or whatever they say. I don't know. I've just been. It's nice to not feel totally panicky and just dejected about baseball for like a few hours, and then tomorrow we just get to do it all over again. Tomorrow could be the last night that I care about the playoffs at all. We'll see what happens.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. All right. Do you have any final playoff thoughts before we talk something else with baseball?
No, we can move on. We'll get to our next show next week. We'll be able to talk more about what has happened and what is coming up. So no, we're all good there.
Yeah. It's hard to do predictions when you don't know what any of the 4 DS series are actually going to be. So
correct.
Yeah. So we'll do that next week. But what we do know is that of the gutless choking dogs who aren't in the postseason, 8 of them do not have a manager coming back, whether it was an interim that they had, had during the year, or manager that they let go, fired. 8 openings, 4 in the AL, 4 in the NL. So, Rodney, I'm just going to run down the teams that have an opening right now. And then I want you to give me your first impressions and say, okay, I'm the hot assistant coach. Everyone is interested in me managing a club. What are the teams that I'm looking at and saying that's a job that I want? All right. So I'll start in the National League for you. Okay. So in the National League, you have the Colorado Rockies. Shocker. They had a bad year. They're going to have a new manager. You have the San Francisco Giants. A little surprising that Bob Melvin's out there, but San Francisco Giants. Washington Nationals, they fired Dave Martinez during the year. And then today we got Brian Snitker, who wasn't fired, but he chose to leave, staying with the team in a front office role, kind of like a Brad Stevens situation, maybe to a degree. So you have the Braves, the Rockies, the Giants, the Nationals. So you note that, and then I'll just tell you the American League teams real quick. So in the American League, we have the Baltimore Orioles, who fired Brandon Hyde during the year. You have the Los Angeles Angels, Ron Washington / Ray Montgomery. Both will be gone. Minnesota Twins. I felt really bad for Rocco Baldelli. Like, they sold half the team at the deadline, and then they're like, oh, sorry, Rocco. Should have done better. And then the Texas Rangers, who 2 years ago were the World Series champions and now fired Bruce Bochy for some reason. So Orioles, Angels, Twins, Rangers. So that's 8 teams total. I see you have the pen. I know that you're writing them down. You're putting together your thoughts here. So what stands out to you among those teams, and what are the jobs that you would be most interested in if you were an assistant coach looking for a gig?
I think I would I think the first phone call I would accept is from the Atlanta Braves. There are so many pieces in place already in Atlanta. That is a playoff team waiting to happen. A playoff team that got off to a slow start. A playoff team that was injury riddled. A playoff team that has a franchise that knows how to get to the playoffs. They have a fan base that has seen their team get to playoffs. They have stars. Ronald Acuna is there. They have Spencer Strider out of the, in the rotation, who we think can still be a stud. Several other guys. Atlanta's my first call. My second call I'm willing to take is from the Texas Rangers, because they still do have a roster that has World Series talent. And if I'm rounding out my top 4, my third call comes from the San Francisco Giants. They kind of have shown that they're willing to improve their roster. They have some pieces. That is a well, if it's a destination, but San Francisco's been desirable, been a desirable place. My fourth call, I think I will go ahead and go Baltimore Orioles, because again, they're not that far removed from a playoff team. They have some young talent. Jackson Holliday's there. We've seen Adley Rush. Like, these guys, some guys that just underachieved over the last couple years. So in that order, I'm going Atlanta, Texas, San Francisco, and Baltimore.
Yeah, I really think you nailed it. My thoughts would be Atlanta, because this year was not a year where I look at them and say, oh, they got to blow that up. It was just a really unfortunate. Everyone seemed to get hurt, and it was the worst possible luck at every moment. And even still, like, they were able to overcome a lot of that. And I don't know if they finished, how far they finished back of like the Marlins and stuff, but it's not like they were a 100-loss team we're talking about here. It was just a bad year, but it happens. So yeah, I'm with you there. Texas, especially because the division feels a little easier than the NL East right now. You know who I am intrigued by, though, who you didn't mention among your top choices? I think Washington isn't a terrible job either. Like, just because of their young talent that they have on offense, it seems like they generally, and this is something that you don't see from a lot of struggling teams, they generally are pretty patient with their coaches. Like, Dave Martinez had a pretty decent run there in Washington. So I think you get a little bit more breathing room than you would say Minnesota, where it seems like Minnesota, I think, has changed, or like the Angels are going to be their sixth manager in 8 years. Like those are the jobs that you don't want, where it's you're going to be losing games and you don't have a lot of room for error in doing so. But yeah, I think Braves are good. I think Rangers are good. Giants, people were and I don't know. I was watching a little bit of PTI yesterday, like on the plane for the Yankee game, and both Wilbon and Kornheiser were convinced that the Giants made the move so that they could hire Bruce Bochy. But I haven't heard anything saying that Bruce Bochy is going to be going back to San Francisco. If anything, I feel like Bochy's probably looking at like special advisor there if that's what they decide to do.
Yeah, let me pull this up. I know Buster Posey talked about Bruce Bochy today, and I was pretty sure he said he would like to bring him in, but not in a managerial role.
Yeah.
Buster Posey doesn't envision the Giants pursuing Bruce Bochy for the managerial opening. Not happening.
Is Bruce Bochy done managing? Keep in mind, won a World Series 2 years ago.
I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, 70 something at this point, right?
He's 70 even.
Yeah, he's probably done. Yeah, he's probably done.
Maybe. I don't know. If the Yankees lose tomorrow,
that's not.
I wouldn't mind giving that old man a call. I'm just saying. I would not mind if they decided to make that call if they lose tomorrow. Yeah.
You know one job that did not come open?
Yes. And I will let you talk about that before I have one more managerial thought. But yes, go ahead, Rodney. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the St. Louis Cardinals decided that they wanted to keep Oliver Marmol after 3 straight non-playoff years. Now, they've got the new president of baseball operations. And he has said that he has no intention of removing Marmol as manager. We know DeWitts are not going to. My thinking here is Bloom probably is okay with if we have a poor year next year, we can get rid of Marmol. The blame can go on him, and I've got a little bit more of a buffer, right? Like year one,
yeah.
Well, it's Marmol's fault now. Now I get 2 or 3 years with the new manager. So, Bloom's extension is, 4-year span. So I'm sure there's more to it. And Oliver Marmol has been a overall pretty stand-up guy. So whatever. I mean, here's the deal though. They got to go get better players. We know this. Like you can't send Andre Palante, Miles Michaelis, and the cast of characters out there every 5 days and say, let's go win. Like it's just not going to happen. They've got to. I honestly, I'm super biased, this, but I honestly think they might be the most intriguing team this offseason because they have so many pieces that they need to pick up. They still while they didn't try this year, you still wonder okay, are they ready to try again? There's been talk about, yes, we saw the attendance was way down this year. That's obviously a statement. We understand what that statement is. So are they going to act on that? Most fans around here are like, no, probably not. But something in my mind's okay, they might really go all out. We'll wait and see. But I think they're very intriguing this offseason.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because you're right. The attendance thing, it's and it was pretty considerable. The largest attendance drop year over year of any team in baseball. That includes the 2 teams that moved from their previous park to a minor league ballpark.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's wild. Yeah. It was what was the number? 600 something thousand fans year over year that they dropped. I mean, that's a huge number. So you have a new boss. You have fans that are voicing their displeasure with their money and not spending it and going to games. And the last thing that is going to get fans to come back to Busch next year is by sticking with the status quo.
Yeah.
Honestly, Rodney, I think that if the Cardinals were to actually do, and they're not in a position to do a fire sale, but if the Cardinals decided to trade veterans and just aggressively rebuild, I feel like fans would be more excited about that than what they currently have on the
Yeah,
field.
no, for sure. We have realized that what we have is not working. I mean, there was a guy this evening that asked me, I'm honestly like, there's really only like 2 or 3 guys on the entire roster where I would not want to trade. Like, I literally could get rid of everybody else. I mean, Mason Wynn's kind of at the top of it for me. Ivan Herrera is kind of at the top, and honestly, I'd keep Sonny Gray for 1 more year. Now he's not a deal breaker. If they wanted to get rid of him and go get some pieces, I'm more than okay with that. But I'd probably prefer to keep him. And honestly, I'd probably keep Nolan Arenado because I think what you're going to do is you're going to find that you're not going to get the value. You're going to get a very, very, very watered down deal. And maybe you can see, one last hurrah out of Arenado, and he has a pretty solid, final year in St. Louis. But other than that, I mean, a lot of people are like clamoring for Alec Burleson. Like, I go ahead, get rid of him. Victor Scott, get rid of him. Nootbaar, get rid of him. Gorman, get rid of him. Jordan Walker, get rid of him. Like, I'm literally like everybody on the roster could go besides those 3 I named.
Yeah, I mean, it's even if they played a little bit above where they were at this year, they would be like at their ceiling. Their ceiling as a team is probably what the Reds are right now, which is 83 wins and swept in the wild card round.
Yeah.
That's best case scenario. Yeah. Which would make you a distant third still in the National League Central. Yeah. So like you gotta do something. And yeah, you're right. I think there's a lot of potential to really be aggressive, but they haven't shown that they can do that. So like fans like yourself should be a little bit weary of like getting your hopes high. But if it happens, like it happens. And I think it makes a lot of sense. By the way, real quick, so you mentioned Ali Marmol, 3 straight years missing the playoffs, still has a job. Mike Schilt, in his 3.5 years with the Cardinals, so he took over for Matheny in the middle of 2018. He went 41-28. And then his 3 years after that, 91-71, 30-28 in the COVID year, 90-72 in his in 2021. But NLCS, NL wildcard, 3 straight years, 3 straight postseasons, was fired. Ali Marmol, 3 straight missed postseasons, still has a job. And then Schilte in his 2 years with San Diego, playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that he pissed somebody off, right? I mean, right. I mean, and I think we said that then. Like, obviously, he said something that just was crossed somebody's line and just said, "We're done with you." And there was a talk about a meeting had and some words. And Mike Schilt is the type of guy that, you look at him, he's pretty quiet, but he can get after it. Like if he gets going, he can really get after it, and probably said a lot of words that just weren't the right ones to hear at that moment. So I get it. But I mean, Oliver Marmol starts 20-25 next year, and he's got to go, right? Like you get rid of him mid-season, figure it out now. And this is going to hurt Cardinal fans. I am mixed on it. But in 3 weeks or less, when Albert Pujols gets hired as the new manager of the Los Angeles Angels, there's going to be a good amount of Cardinal fans that aren't going to like that.
And if I can just say something too, not only, and I agree with you, I think that is going to be the move ultimately that they make. But Albert has, I guess, said before that he would want Yadier Molina on his coaching staff.
Yeah.
So there's a universe here where the Cardinals keep Ali Marmol and watch Albert Pujols and Yadi Molina go to another team and be on the coaching staff there.
Yeah,
that would suck. Like that would suck if you're a fan who wants either of those guys. And I always thought like Yadi Molina was ultimately the play for the Cardinals, like who would make sense. But like that would suck to see both of them somewhere else.
Yeah, so I don't know how this works. I know Albert's still in that 10-year deal. So I don't know if he could even, like, if the Cardinals offered him the manager job tomorrow, I'm not sure he could even take it, right? I
Well, so he, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
he is under contract there, but I'm sure that like probably what it would have to be is the Cardinals buying out
Yeah.
the remainder
No,
of his
yeah.
contract, which is $1 million a year. He's done it for 3 years now. So let's say hypothetically, Albert Pujols somehow like they have a change of heart, they fire Ollie Marmol, he becomes the Cardinals manager. So you would have to give the Angels then $7 million to cover the remaining 7 years on that service contract. I would assume that would be what you'd have to do.
Yeah, which in the grand scheme of things really isn't all that much.
It's
Right.
not, but it's also like I don't know what the average MLB manager makes, but first year manager never done it before. Not only are you paying his salary, not only would you be paying the remainder of Ollie Marmol's salary after you fired him, but also you would be giving the Angels an additional $7 million. Suddenly that becomes a very expensive manager for a team that historically like doesn't throw around wads of cash, especially after having the worst year of attendance they've ever had, arguably.
Yeah.
So
no, it'll be interesting. Yeah. It'll be interesting, but no, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a load of fans when the press conference that the Angels have hired him.
Yeah, are you glad, man? It's a playoff Wednesday, and we've spent 15 minutes talking about the St. Louis Cardinals.
I kind of went down the rabbit hole here.
Well, I'm glad. I followed you right down there, man, because I'm interested by them. I'm fascinated because you're right. They're one of those teams that's just they're sitting in no man's land right now, but they have so much potential to really just like shoot out of it. And I have no idea what direction they're going to go in. So I'm interested in them for sure. All right, let's move on here a little bit. As we mentioned, this is our only show of the week. We're doing things a little bit differently, hence why we're on a Wednesday. So not only are we going to be talking about a little bit of like NFL college stuff last weekend, but also going to preview football this weekend. We do have best bets for betting coming up near the end of the show as well, so stick around for that. But here we are. We're about a quarter of the way through the season, and I forget each year how violent football is, but man, it feels like there are a lot of very significant players that are hurt.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So like, so right now we have like season ending right off the bat, Malik Neighbors, which that one sucks. Tyreek Hill. If you haven't seen the video, you don't. You had who is it? Nick Bosa a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple others here, but like big names already. And then just so-and-so out for a couple weeks. You've had Brock Purdy that's out for a couple weeks. You've had Jaden Daniels. Now you have Lamar Jackson. You have Joe Burrow. I mentioned to you in a text earlier, the AFC North quarterbacks this weekend are going to be it's going to be Jake Browning, Cooper Rush, Dylan Gabriel, and then a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, no, it's not great. I mean, you're right. Like it probably does happen every year, but it just seems like they're really piling up. And when it happens at the quarterback position, that's really when we take notice, right? Like quarterback, receiver, CeeDee Lamb, he's been out. The 49ers have had all their, tomorrow night, the 49ers are going to have like a corpse of their team, right? Like their quarterback's out, 2 receivers out, their tight ends out. If they don't give Christian McCaffrey the ball 40 times tomorrow, then I'm not sure how they can compete in that game against the Rams. Like they don't have other people to throw the ball to, and they've got. I'll just say it. It's Lack Jones. Like if he beats the Rams, though, he's infinitely
he's whack loans. Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, I mean they're an 8.5-point underdog. I respect the hell out of San Francisco.
It's a lot of points. And I know all the injuries, but it's a lot of points given to a coach that generally has done very well against Sean McVay's Rams.
Yeah, that's where I'll probably just like ignore the game's existence and move on because I really, really, really want to want to just absolutely pound the Los Angeles Rams. But yeah, you're right. Like they'll find a way, and they'll probably be like 13-10, and they'll cover that. But God, I'm just not giving Shanahan enough credit. But yeah, there's a lot of guys injured, and that kind of sucks because now you start finding these other guys. And this is what Skeeter loves though, because then he can go to like the bottom of the roster barrels, find these guys, do his research, and now he's going to win fantasy leagues because he's got 9 additions that nobody's heard of.
Yeah. Like I love instances like the Cardinals running back situation too, where James Conner gets hurt. Okay, he's out for the year. That's another guy who's done for the year.
Yeah.
So naturally, everyone rushes, gets his backup Trey Benson. Surprise, Benson's on the IR now, out 4 weeks minimum. So then is the DeMercado guy. Everyone rushes to pick him up, myself included, until surprise, something called Michael Carter is now to go from the practice squad to starting. That's crazy. So just like this is the stuff that 95% of football fans can't keep up with. But then you have the Skeeters of the world who know all this and are able to just exploit it. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And it's already becoming difficult. I mean, your fantasy teams, you just got to stick with it. You got to find the healthy guy. Now you're running into the bye weeks. So not only are you running short on IR guys, now you're running bye weeks. So it's a cluster. You got to hang in there somehow.
All right. Real quick, the Cincinnati Reds stranded the bases. They had bases loaded for Ellie De La Cruz, who's batting 6th for them. And he struck out. He looked foolish. So, but yes, all these injuries in the NFL are really making things interesting. I'm just going to run down real quick some of the games on the schedule this weekend that have my attention. So Vikings Browns, just because we're going to get a Dylan Gabriel debut. Vikings are ready overseas, so they haven't had to travel. They're just enjoying Europe, which I think is a pretty decent advantage for them. Texans Ravens, I'm intrigued because the Texans still don't look particularly sharp, and the Ravens aren't going to have Lamar Jackson. So those are 2 1-3 teams. Like one of those teams that you and I both thought are like division winners is going to fall to 1-4. Like if the Ravens, who are an underdog in that game, drop to 1-4, you have the Steelers, meanwhile, who did the Steelers have this weekend? They're on a bye. So Steelers are on a bye. But like I don't know if you could say the Ravens are going to be a playoff team if they go 1-4 on the year. Right. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, no, you're right there. And I was looking today, like the Texans, despite being 1-3, they've literally given up like 53 points. Like the fewest amount of anybody in the NFL. Like 4 games, 53 points. Like do the math on that, like 13 points a game.
Yeah. It's all offense. So they can't do anything. They can't score.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you've got Baltimore on the other side who can score. Now, obviously, no Lamar Jackson, so that's going to be different, but can't stop anybody. So maybe Houston's the offense will break out a little bit here. Maybe. I mean, we thought last week that we could get a C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins breakout. Maybe we were a week early, and maybe it'll be this week against Baltimore.
Yeah. Things that you wouldn't have imagined at this time last year, talking about how anemic the Texans offense is and how awful the Ravens defense is. Right. That's how fast things can change in the NFL. But I'm looking forward to that game. I think Buccaneers Seahawks is really good, number 1, because it's 2 3-1 teams. Number 2, former teammates, by the way, Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold with the Carolina Panthers. And number 3, and I'm sure you've seen this, it is the best uniform matchup that we have seen in the NFL in quite some time. We're going to have the Buccaneers wearing their creamsicle jerseys and the Seahawks wearing their retros with the light blues. It's going to be beautiful. Yeah. It's going to be a gorgeous product on the field. Speaking of that, did you see Sunday night? The Bills are wearing like the icy hot type of, it's like these all white, and then they're having a white out. Supposedly they've been designing these for 2 years for this occasion. The occasion, Sunday Night Football against the New England Patriots. I like it, man. I like it. Just, Circle the wagons. You can't say anything bad about what they're doing.
That brings me to this point. So don't get me wrong. Buffalo's one of the best teams in the NFL. They're my pick to win it all. But how nice is it that your divisional rival, your number one team to fend off in the division, is the New England Patriots after Bill Belichick and Tom Brady? Like, I know when it was Brady, this sucked. Like, everybody'd say, "Oh, this sucks. You got to play them all the time." But like, since Belichick and Brady, I know Buffalo has been damn good, but my God, New England's the next best. Like, you don't have to play anybody, and you get to play them twice.
Why is there a rule that there can only be one great AFC East team at a time?
Yeah. It's something. I mean, that's Buffalo wins that game. They're 3 up in the division through 5 weeks. Like, we joked about this. They might literally win the division in week 11.
Yeah, like Thanksgiving, I think they'll have the division wrapped up.
Yeah, it's wild. But check out the Bills uniform Sunday night.
Selfishly, I'm also looking forward to Giants Saints. I know that for NFL fans, it's like, oh, that's gross. 1-3 Giants, 0-4 Saints, but obviously the Jackson Dart thing really just makes some interest there. Rodney, I want to get your opinion on this. The Giants opened up as a 1.5 point favorite, and the Saints are now a 1.5 point favorite. So the line has had a total flip to New Orleans, and I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what the reason is. Maybe it's just because the Saints, being at the Dome, a much better home team than they are on the road. So, like, I get it from that regard, but, like, that was a huge shift in points very early on and quite drastic.
Yeah, no, it is a lot. And I initially started to think, as a New York Giant fan that you are, like, you win this game and you're 2-3, and now you're starting to think about, maybe we can get 9 wins and find a playoff. And I know, a lot of Giants fans aren't even thinking about that, don't want to think about that because they want to think about what they're drafting next. But then I got to looking at the Giants schedule, and I'm like, actually, no, they really just need to win this game so they don't lose like 8 in a row, because it's the Eagles, Broncos, Eagles, 49ers, Bears, Packers, Lions.
Right. Like, it's the schedule from hell. Everyone knew that, which is why, like, the way that they started the season, like the awful loss to Washington, which I don't think anyone's looking at the Commanders and saying, wow, that's an amazing football team. Right. They're okay. They're 2-2, but, like, Daniel's been hurt. They're fine.
Yeah.
The Cowboys game obviously was a killer, the way that they lost that one. Like, no one's looking at the Cowboys and saying, man, that's a great team. So, like, those were the winnable opponents. You stole one against the Chargers, which is good. But the Saints was, like, the one team on your schedule where it's like, that's a very winnable game for the Giants. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not concerning myself with the wins and losses. I'm only concerned with Jackson Dart, and that's it. That's it. Yeah. And, like, it's bad that he doesn't have Malik Neighbors now for the season to rely on. Like, I think that really, really hurts his development, but, like, we'll just see what happens from here. But, like, as long as he progresses, gets better, stays healthy, that's all I care about. That's it. Yeah. And that's all any Giants fan should care about. I don't care about the playoffs, man. I want him to progress, and I want the team to show fight and not roll over like the gutless losers that they usually are every year. Like, yeah. I want to make the Philadelphia Eagles sweat on Thursday Night Football. Like, that's what I want. I want the Eagles to be like, oh shit, are we really going to lose to the Giants right now? That's what I want. Even if they don't lose, I want them to think they're going to lose.
Should we get to my power rankings?
Yeah. So you put these out a day or two ago. They're all available on Twitter right now. So you can go follow at Newple Rodney for the full list. But as always, Rodney will give you right here on the show his bottom 5 and his top 5 teams in the NFL. So I'll let you take it away here, Rodney, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, all right. So we had some change. This was an interesting week. Some bottom teams beat some top teams. The middle teams all kind of went different directions. So it took some time, but in the end, this is where this team belongs. The New Orleans Saints are the 32nd, the worst team in the NFL. I'm very confident about this one. Now, when they beat the New York Giants on Sunday, we may have to have a discussion about this. But right now they're 32. 31, Cam Ward, the Titans just can't get it done. They can't find a way. They just can't. And I don't know. Maybe
did you see his quote?
I did not. No.
No, it was just him. It was just him being in. I forget exactly what he said, but he's just like, we're a quarter of the season. We're ass. Like, we haven't done anything.
Yeah.
He just was like straight up being like, yeah, we've been terrible. Yeah. So
not great. They're 31. And there's an argument that the Jets could be 31. They have also not been very good. And Aaron Glenn seems frustrated. I had some questions when he was hired, and I still have some questions, but they're 30. So your Giants are not the worst team in the Meadowlands. The 29 is the Carolina Panthers. Did not look good last week. Yeah, did not look good. And then I will keep the Miami Dolphins in the bottom 5. They did pick up a win. They obviously got hurt. Not only did they get hurt on the field, like that was a potential trade chip in Tyreek Hill, and that is no longer going to happen. So I will put the Dolphins, Panthers, Jets, Titans, Saints as my bottom 5. Any team that is not in there you think should be?
I mean, it's hard to argue against any of these bottom 5 teams. Like, I'm sure your honorable mentions, like I'm sure the Browns are pretty low.
Yeah, but they won last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So like the Browns, Giants, I think you had 25th in your new power rankings. So that win over the Chargers raised them quite a bit. Where are the Bengals on this list? Because like while the Bengals are 2-2, while they're 2-2, like they have looked truly, like the last 2 weeks, they have looked like the worst team in football without Joe Burrow.
Yeah. They've taken a nosedive over the last 2 weeks. So it's Giants 25, Bengals 26, Browns 27. And really that's the head-to-head matchup. And I know I know it was with Joe Burrow. So like, yeah, like if they played tomorrow, that could be a complete change. But like when I'm ranking them, okay, Cincinnati beat Cleveland, so I'll put Cincinnati ahead. Yeah. But yeah, so Giants 25, Bengals 26, Browns 27.
Are you happy that you finally had an excuse to put the Saints in 32? I know you've been dying to do it for a while, but you had to just wait for the Dolphins to win a game.
Right. Yeah, no, that's that's really what it was, because like the Dolphins were just kind of more of a funny story to put at 32. Like we all knew the Saints were going to be 32, right? Like they're the worst team in football.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go to the top 5. Number 5, I snuck the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in there, and I know they lost. Their loss wasn't necessarily a terrible one. They competed with Philadelphia, but I will go Tampa Bay 5. Probably some questions there. We can answer questions when we're done. Number 4, I'll move to the Los Angeles Rams. Solid team, strong quarterback, veteran quarterback, good head coach, can run the ball, can throw the ball, can play defense. I like the Rams. 3 is the Detroit Lions, taking a major jump forward. After their first loss, I sent them down a little bit. I kind of had some doubts, with the new coordinator changes. Now they're back. I'll put them 3. And then, of course, the top 2, we already know. The Bills are 2 and the Philadelphia Eagles are 1. Nick Sirianni's playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. How about that play? How about the fake tush push? You guys can't stop the tush push. Now we're going to fake it.
I'm surprised they haven't tried it more often, in all honesty. Like the fake. I think about that all the time. Like, why not? Everyone's expecting it, so why not just catch them by surprise? So they did it. Congratulations, Nick Sirianni. Coaching genius.
Colts are 6. Chargers are 7. And Chargers, man, I don't know. There's some questions there now.
They didn't play. They didn't play well, but the Giants defense also. I'm stunned that the Chargers are throwing the ball 40+ times a game now.
Same.
With Greg Roman as their offensive coordinator. I don't know why that's happening. And it feels like Omarion Hampton yesterday or on Sunday. I'm sorry to get off topic. Like he only had 12 carries, but 100+ yards and a touchdown. He had one super long carry, but even without that, he was still averaging like 6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they weren't doing that and they were passing the ball and the Giants pass rush was all over it. So I don't know. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So Colts 6, Chargers 7, Chiefs now at 8, probably merited. I mean, they played better. They're back 2-2, not a big concern. 49ers 9, Packers 10.
So the Packers fell quite a bit.
Well, yeah,
from a tie. So all right.
Well, they lost
so
to Cleveland
Colts,
first.
They did lose, yeah. So they have a loss and a tie. I was gonna say like Packers Colts on a neutral field. Who are you taking?
I'm probably taking the Packers.
So then why are the Colts 6th and the Packers 10th?
Packers lost. I mean, they've lost 2 in a row. Well, they haven't won 2 in a row.
They haven't won 2 in a row. Can we get rid of ties?
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. I mean, we're 56 minutes into this one, and we still have like 3 more segments. And
yeah,
but yeah, Tuesday, that can be a long discussion point. Yes,
I'm tired of them. I'm tired of it. Like that game should have ended much better in a tie. Like it's 40-40. It's a great game, but tie is nasty. Yeah. No, I thought your power rankings were very fair, very good. Niners, I think, deserve maybe a little bit more credit to be where they're at, despite all of the injuries. But other than that, man, like, no, I think that's fair. Like, obviously, Eagles, Bills are going to be atop your power rankings until someone beats them. And I don't know when the next time they're going to lose. I honestly don't know. I have no idea when they're going to lose a game. So
they're both pretty good.
Yeah, very good. All right. So as you mentioned, we're like an hour in pretty much. This is our early show of the week. So a little bit longer tonight, but we just got a couple more things for you, including best bets for betting. Not only are we going to recap what we did last weekend, but we're also going to give you our picks tonight. And Rodney, I don't know if you saw, but the tides have turned a little bit. As now, thanks to an impressive display from myself last week, we're tied in best bets for betting at 13-12. So real quick, let's run through the games last weekend before we get to the ones for this weekend.
Yeah. This one was I think it was a Friday night game. Didn't get it done. I don't even remember what happened in this one at this point. It's been a long several days since that. It was
one. So Houston won, but it was by 3 points. It was
nice
overtime.
27-24 in overtime at winless Oregon State. All
right, I mentioned Washington, Ohio State. This was either going to be very, very close or it was going to be multiple touchdowns. It ended up being the latter. Took a risk thinking Ohio State, long travel. But Buckeyes played well. Defense was lights out. I think 26-7 might have been the final, but Washington plus 7.5. That was my first. And spoiler alert, only L for the weekend. Rodney.
Yeah, second one didn't go well for me either. Took my Jayhawks. They actually lost the game outright at home to Cincinnati. Cincinnati scored with 29 seconds to go in the game and won the game on the road. So not a great college start for me. And you'll see that it didn't finish well either for me in college.
ILL plus 6.5. Way too many points for a home underdog against a team that historically doesn't do well. Long trips on the road. Illinois won this game outright. Great last-second field goal. They had a really good offensive game plan. It was actually a fun game. Lots of back-and-forth stuff. A couple crazy turnovers that USC defense was able to force. But Illinois gets a huge win, kicking USC out of the top 25. And that was a win straight up for me for best bets for betting.
Yeah, I lost my third. I went 0-3 in college. I had the Bulldogs beating the Tide, and Alabama won straight up. So not only did I not cover either of these last two, they both lost outright. Not a great weekend for me. 0-3 to start my weekend.
Yeah, that was the signature Kalen DeBoer win. He got it. Congrats, Kalen. All right. Next, this is going to be a win for both of us. The Rams and the Colts went head-to-head. It was a close game, but the Rams were able to win by a touchdown. They were 3.5-point favorites. They get a late turnover from Danny Dimes, and the Rams moved to 3-1. So 3.5-point favorite. Nice job, Rams.
Yeah, and like you said, I got that one as well. So that was my first win. I'll go ahead and take my last game, and then you can take the last two. My second win came in the NFL. I've had success betting teams I think are good. Rams are good, I think. Eagles are good, I think. They both got their win. They got their cover. So those are my 2 wins. I mean, 2 and 3. 2 and 3, like you can withstand 2 and 3, but when your opponent goes 4 and 1, you're going to have to get better. So kudos to you. The only thing I can do is just tip my cap.
I'm going to tip my cap to the Kansas City Chiefs. 2.5-point dogs at home. This is what I've learned, Rodney. Never bet against Patrick Mahomes' Chiefs.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah.
Especially when they're an underdog. This was a comfortable win. They blew them out, one outright as an underdog. So, Chiefs, that's a nice win. And then last but not least, Monday Night Football. The people did not realize that the Bengals were that much of a disgrace against the Vikings. I said, game's back in Denver. They're going to make Jake Browning and them boys look like fools. And what final score ended up being, like 28-3? It was not close. It was awful. An awful game. But the Broncos easily cover there. So 4-1 for me, 2-3 for you. As you mentioned, that brings us both to 13-12 now. And that's a couple good weeks for me in best bets for betting. So we're back. And we're going to keep it rolling here. Hopefully for this weekend. So Rodney, let's just keep going right now. So we each have 5 picks for this upcoming weekend. Or it could be anything. It could be starting on Thursday, going all the way through Monday, whatever you want to do here. But I'll let you give your first pick.
I considered starting it on Thursday, but I'm going to go ahead and stay traditional and stick with Friday. There was some things maybe I like Thursday, but I'm going to stick with Friday, and I'm going to go a tip of the cap to the ladies, and I know you love this one. You big WNBA fan, you.
Love it.
Game 1 of the WNBA Finals is in Vegas, Michelob Ultra Arena. Las Vegas Aces host the Phoenix Mercury, a West Coast Finals. I will take the Aces minus 2.5. Yes, just came off an overtime win over Indiana, but when push comes to shove, Wilson is the best player on the court. I will take the Aces minus 2.5.
So is this the final?
Yes. Well, game 1. It's a 5-game series.
Are there no Western Conference and Eastern Conference? Because these are two Western teams.
They in the playoffs they just take the top 8.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Aces, Mercury, love it. Is Diana Taurasi still playing for the Mercury, or is she retired?
She's retired. She's retired.
She is retired. All right. That's good to know. All right. My first best bet for betting: Florida versus Texas. Arch Manning is going down to Florida, going to Gainesville. Florida Gators, they have had a tough go of things. They've only had one win. They've only had one home game too. And that was, I think, their closest, most competitive game. But I think 6.5 points is just a little too much for me for Arch and Texas against a Gators defense that still is pretty decent. So I'm going to say that they give Texas enough fits to keep this game close here. So I'm taking the Gators at plus 6.5.
Well, that's interesting that you like the Gators plus 6.5 because I love the Longhorns minus 6.5. You know why? Because Billy Napier and the Florida Gators suck.
Yeah, I understand, man. I understand.
I'll take Arch and the boys. Arch has to have a moment here. He's got to be better. Steve Sarkisian's got to get him going. I will take Texas minus 6.5.
All right. I have one more college game here. Okay, yeah, I got a little out of order here, so I'm going to go to this one. So I'm going to stay in the state of Florida, and I'm going to go with something that has been proven a couple times this year to be very successful. The Miami Hurricanes are still getting underrated by a lot of these sports books, where Hurricanes are the 3rd-ranked team in the nation, okay? And yet all these lines are 3.5 points, 4.5 points. Miami has yet to leave the state of Florida. They've been comfortable. They are a team that even if they start a little slow, they're able to get hot. And I think that the Hurricanes are a team where even if it's like a 3.4-point game in the 4th quarter, they're going to win the game by 14, 17 points. So I'm going to take Miami Hurricanes here, minus 4.5 at the Knolls.
Okay, I will also stay in the state of Florida, but go a different game. I'll go against my Jayhawks this time. and I will go with the UCF Knights -4.5. This is a very conflicting game. I've been fans of both these teams, right? I mean, the UCF Knights, especially that year they won that national championship, right? I mean, they were legit. Anyways, I'll take the Knights. This game's in Orlando. I don't know if Kansas is ready to travel to that heat to play the Knights. I will take the UCF Knights -4.5 over Kansas.
Remember when UCF went undefeated that one year?
Yeah, they won the national championship.
National champs, UCF Knights. All right. Sunday morning, we are treated to another game overseas. We had Dublin, Ireland the week before. We're going to have London over at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The Vikings are a 3.5-point favorite against the Browns. Guys, this is, and I don't want to throw my Tim curse all over this, Rodney, but I'm just going to say it here. I think Vegas done and messed up looking at this game and saying, hey, the Browns with a rookie quarterback who was a day 3 pick, starting for the first time, going overseas against a team that's already been overseas for the entire week. 3.5 points is ridiculous. So I'm taking Minnesota. Minnesota -3.5. This should be a comfortable win. I'd be stunned.
Yeah.
I would be stunned if this doesn't cover.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with you here. I'm going to make the same pick. So I'll throw 2 things at you. Number one, we did see a very, very poor Minnesota team last week. They weren't very good. Now, maybe Pittsburgh's better than we thought. Second, I actually have 3 things. Second thing, I wanted to ask you, how was West Coast breakfast watching this game?
It was good, except I woke up and the game was already happening, and because I didn't set my alarm ahead of time. So I kind of caught half of it.
Yeah.
But
so number 3 point I'm going to make. Who did the Cleveland Browns play last week? Yeah. You already know this. Just answer the question. The Detroit.
I don't. It was the Detroit. Oh, Lions. Yeah, it was the Detroit Lions. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I did not have Red Zone and Sunday Ticket available to me where I was. So that was one of those games where it's like, oh yeah, I saw the score, but I didn't see anything from it, and just the Lions rolled. So yeah, that's an excellent point. So you got Man Campbell beat down, and then you got to get your ass on a plane to Europe. That's game over.
Yeah, right. Like that. Yeah, that's my thought too. I don't think this game will be close either. Empty out your account on everything you own, just like the Red Sox tonight too, right?
Yeah. So that's from the person who says to empty your account on the Red Sox winning game 2 comes empty your account on the Vikings covering 3.5 against Cleveland Browns. I just think like the line. I know that you said the Vikings didn't look very good, but they still almost won the damn game. Yeah. Came alive at the end, and just like I'm still going to take Carson Wentz and the Vikings over Dylan Gabriel and the Browns. I'm sorry. Same. And you're right. I didn't even think about the Man Campbell thing, and then you had the jet lag, and it's a no-brainer. All right, couple more real quick. Easily the grossest game on the slate.
Yeah.
But 2 things stick out to me. Number 1, Dolphins without Tyreek Hill. That's a pretty significant loss for them. But the Carolina Panthers have had 1 home game this year. They've looked dreadful on the road, but they've had 1 home game this year. They won that game 30-0. I'm gonna buy into the home underdog thing, especially when the team that's coming to your stadium is just as shitty as you are. If not, maybe a little bit more, sort of depending on Rodney's power rankings here. So I'm going to take the Panthers +1.5. I'm hoping that they remain an underdog here and that the line doesn't change at all. But as long as the Panthers are going to be underdogs, I'm going to take them. So
last game, I like betting good teams. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles -3.5 over the Denver Broncos. Yes, I know the Broncos have started to look better. Yes, I know Sean Payton is a better coach in October than he is in September. But I will take the Philadelphia Eagles over the Denver Broncos -3.5. Eagles just find ways. They find ways to cover. One coach will play chess while the other plays checkers. That's really all there is to it. I'll take the Eagles.
I feel like Nick Sirianni is one of those guys who like has played chess once in his life, but then tells everybody that he knows how to play chess. He strikes me
I'd
as one of
believe
those
him.
guys.
I'd believe him.
I know you would. You eat that shit up, man. You eat it up from him. Anything he says. All right, but I am to your credit also going to be sticking with the idea of betting good teams, and the Buffalo Bills are a pretty good team. They are hosting the New England Patriots Sunday Night Football in those icy uniforms you mentioned. Division game kind of scares me a little bit, but Bills in prime time. I'm not too worried about what Buffalo is going to do here. So I'm going to take the Bills minus 7.5. They'll win by more than a touchdown. And that's it for best bets for betting.
Those are our best bets for betting. We have, I love my NFL bets. I'm just so kind of on those college. I don't know. I can't quite figure out the college yet.
Yeah, my problem is that I fall in love with certain NFL games, but it's always the games that have like crappy, unpredictable teams. Like I'm putting my reputation on the line for Panthers Dolphins, and that should like raise alarm bells or raise the flags or ring the alarm bells in my mind, but it doesn't for some reason because I'm an idiot. That's why.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Should we get them out? Not Rushmore of 98. Yeah. So no NBA. I looked that one up. No names to consider there. I can't think we can be too hopped up on Major League Baseball, though Will Warren wore it for a little bit, right?
He still wears it. Still number 98. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to make this one, but it's your boy Will Warren. But I'll let you maybe go. What do you want to go? You want to go NBA or NFL, or you want to go NHL?
I'll start NHL real quick. A couple names here. Well, first, Chicago's very own generational superstar Connor Bedard wears number 98 for the Blackhawks.
Cubs fan.
He was at the game today. Yeah, Cubs fan. Noted Canadian Cubs fan Connor Bedard. Watched his team lose, which he's very used to playing for the Blackhawks. So Connor Bedard is number 98. You also have Mikhail Sergachev, who is actually a pretty good defenseman. A long time with Tampa Bay, now of the Utah Mammoth.
I will not remember that.
I almost thought it was Utah Hockey Club still because that's what was written on Hockey Reference. Yeah, the Mammoth. Not crazy about the name. I like the logo that they did. Not crazy about the name though. Yeah. But that's it for NHL. I don't know if we can throw Bedard up there, man. He's played 2 years. Hasn't done anything.
He's going to have to wait, maybe. All right, NFL, there are some good ones, including Colts defensive end Robert Mathis. Probably a good one there. Yes. Giants linebacker Jesse Armstead.
Yeah. Jesse Armstead's a good one, man. 5-time Pro Bowler, former All-Pro. Yeah. How about this one? How about Pittsburgh Steeler nose tackle, big boy Casey Hampton? Big snack.
Yeah, no, I like that one. We could go with the big boy defensive tackle for the Gigantes, Tony Goose Saragusa.
Never played for the Giants, but that's okay.
He didn't?
No, he was famously Baltimore Raven, and I think Indianapolis Colt before that.
Yeah, this listed as the Giants. I don't know why. Yeah.
Is it ranker.com? But all right, so to your credit, Tony Siragusa absolutely should have been a New York Giant. Right? He's like a Jersey guy through and through, born there, high school there.
He just looks like him.
Yeah, no, I like the name, like Tony Siragusa. My God, there's 4,000 Tony Siragusas in the tri-state area, but he passed away a few years ago too. So I'm okay with Goose being like a in memoriam member on the Mount Rushmore.
He grew up in Toms River, New Jersey. That's like the epitome of New York.
Tony Siragusa should have been a Giant. So you know what? I'm going to say that you were right, actually, even though he technically never played for them. All right. How about this one? So one of the things that we do with this list is we're sort of looking at guys over their career and saying, oh yeah, they've put in the work. And like, yes, absolutely, we can put in Jesse Armstead and Casey Hampton, whatever. But there's currently a guy who's wearing number 98 in the NFL who I think when it's all said and done is going to be like atop this list. Max Crosby. So I know you watched a little bit of that Bears-Raiders game on Sunday.
Yeah.
That Max Crosby guy's freaking good, man. God, he is a one-man wrecking crew. And so far, he's played 7 years, all with the Raiders. Pretty much played like every game. I think last year he missed a couple games due to injury. But 4-time Pro Bowler, still only, how old is he? 28 years old. Like, guy's just an animal. He's kind of a psycho. But like Max Crosby is someone I would strongly consider for this Mount Rushmore as well, in case we want to get like a recent name on there.
Well, tell me your 4. I'll probably agree. I'm getting tired. It's late. I don't have an argument here. What's your 4 here? What would you like for your 4? This is a Tuesday show.
I lost Rodney at 10:13. It's now 10:17. He's over it now. All right, I'm gonna say let's go Casey Hampton.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go Robert Mathis.
Yeah. Let's
go Tony Siragusa, New York Giant legend, and then let's round it out with Max Crosby. I'm leaving off Jesse Armstead on the list there because he doesn't have a Super Bowl, but Hampton does, Mathis does, Gusa does, and then Max Crosby is just a dog. Yeah. So I think those are the guys there. So imagine like you got Mathis and Crosby coming on the edge. You have Hampton and Siragusa in the middle.
Yeah. And I want to give a quick apology to Leonard Ladard.
I don't. Play more than 2 years. How about this? How about this, Connor? How about win games?
Hockey will be next week, right?
Next Tuesday. Yes. Our next show, Tuesday night, will be opening night of the NHL.
That's a special night, and it's our 99th show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tuesday night, Penguins, Rangers, Blackhawks, Panthers, Avalanche, Kings.
Did you hear the quote today during the Padres Cubs game? I heard it live, and it's gone viral, where they did the little promo talking about opening night on Tuesday, and Sean McDonough, who calls the NHL, he asked his guys in the booth, he's like, hey, so, what are your thoughts? You guys excited? And the one analyst is like, no, I don't care. Like, no. I could care. I ain't watching that. And McDonough's like, well, it's on ESPN. He's like, a show? I don't care. I'm not going to watch that. Like, just doubled down and tripled down. And then he tries to go to Mendoza, and she's like, I don't know. I only care about baseball. It's just like, guys, you got to just fake it. You got to fake it.
That reminds me of the time. I got to throw myself under the bus here. That reminds me of the time when they're like, when we worked together in radio, and you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I do exactly. Yep.
Hey, you guys really need, it's like shopping season. You guys really need to do the small businesses around here. You need
the holidays. It's the holidays. Yeah.
I was like, why? On air, I was like, why? If I could just go to Amazon and Walmart.com and order everything and just have it shipped to my house, that'd be a lot easier.
Yeah.
The next day, we got a memo. Hey, we really need to start like talking about these small businesses. That was my like, oh yeah, I probably ought to be careful what I say on the air moment. Either that or when I committed when I said Janoris Jenkins committed murder live on the air. One of the two.
Well, that the Janoris Jenkins thing didn't go directly against like the money of like the company. That was just reckless.
Yeah.
But no, the small business thing, yeah, it's like you were trying to promote all of the companies who are actively giving us money and paying the bills to keep the station, in business. And you're just like, screw them. Just go to Amazon. Like, so like that was worse. That was worse. But it's also very, to your point, very similar to what happened today, where it's like, man, ESPN paid all this money to have the NHL. We got opening night. Aren't you excited about it? And the guy's like, no. I ain't watching. No.
Yeah, no, that's good. And somehow, some way, 12 years later, I'm still on the air 2 hours a week at that same station.
They didn't pull you. But I bet you haven't said you're going to get anything from Amazon again.
No, God, no.
No, yeah. So it worked. It worked. That little memo did work, man. You've been a good company boy since then.
No, Shop Lulu's on Main.
All right.
Let's
Let's get out of here. This is Rodney and Tim reminding you to shop local any time of the year. Support small businesses, okay? And we'll be back Tuesday night for MLB playoff talk, NHL opening nights. I don't think we'll have full in-depth predictions, but definitely want to give some hockey thoughts. Hockey guy Dan better get his ass away from his newborn child for like an hour on Tuesday to contribute to the show.
Right? You would think.
So we'll need to make sure that he's around for that. Talking NFL, college, pretty much anything else, man. 99. Is this going to be our last Mount Rushmore?
It will be. Yeah.
Wow.
It's going to be sad
find
times.
Guys who are 00 or just 0. That's the other option.
Yeah. I mean, we could do that, but I mean, and we could go all the way to like, I mean, we could go ahead and go, since we're at 101, we could do the ones all the way until we started this. I mean, it's not a bad idea because we didn't start. We have to find when we started. That's actually probably what we should do because like this is a mainstay. This is a comfort zone for us to finish the show with. So let's pull up where we started and we can consider that. But until then, I think it's bedtime.
Yeah. It is a much better idea and easier to find than Barry Bonds stat of the day, which I still think I can do. Get a couple of those. All right. Real quick reminders that you can follow us at Stupid Sports Show on Twitter. No W at the end, remind you. Listen to all 98 episodes of our show wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, iHeart. You can leave us a review. You can subscribe. You could rate, review, do all of them to your heart's content. And finally, Rodney's still putting out daily picks on the Substack.
And if the Dodgers hold on, I will go 4-0 today. All 4 Major League Baseball games I will have nailed. I picked the first 3 games. I picked the Guardians, the Padres, the Yankees. They all won. I will get the Dodgers right. They're going to win. They'll be 4-0. And that means October I'll be 4-0. And on the year, 52 units up. 52 now. Not in the 40s.
That's good.
In the 50s. Get signed up at Substack.
Did you take the Yankees because you took the Tim curse? Because I was saying for the last 24 hours that the Red Sox were going to win and this series was over.
No, because here's what happens. I give so much analysis. I said, for first game, I said Cleveland stays alive. For second game, I said the Padres also stay alive. The third game, I said the Yankees stick with the theme. The last game, I said, good night, Reds. That's how much analysis I put into it.
And that's why he's over 50 units up, folks. That's you don't get that anywhere else.
15 words over a span of 4 games. Yeah, like there's no better place to find your picks than right there. It was good night, Reds. That's why the Dodgers would win.
Yeah.
Anyways, 52 units ahead when the Dodgers win tonight.
You can go to all these sites. You could pay all these dudes all the money for their picks. And Rodney is giving you winning picks in 15 words or less.
That's right.
There is no better reason than that to sign up for the Substack, get it right to your inbox every day. So make sure to do that. All right. He's Rodney Newpel. I'm Tim Donnie Baseball Van Stratton. This has been a fun show, a long show, but we'll be back Tuesday. So enjoy the rest of the week. Until next time, this has been the stupidest sports show on earth. See you guys.
Yeah.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpel and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.